Hello, my name is Silafire, and I have a really steady 3.2K blue circuit production. And after a rework of my green circuit production, I'm confident that this will remain a steady 3.2K. I figured I'd do a little tour of my base. So I have two stations unloading for my blue circuit production. Each train unloads at the fastest possible, which is 12 belts per train. So this is unloading at 6 inserters per side, 12 inserters per wagon, and 48 inserters per train. And that's 48 inserters into 48 chests as well. And we load these trains over here at my splice station, and there's a reduction because we can't do a train-to-train transfer going straight, so we have to go diagonal. But now we're only doing 4 inserters per side into 4 chests. So this now changes the speed from loading these splice trains from 12 belts to 8 belts. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 belts here. 6 splice trains loading at 8 belts. So that is 28 belts worth of transport. And these trains unload at 12 belts a minute. So right here I have 24 belts of unloading ability. So I should be able to double this 24 up to 48 and add add 2 more blue circuit stations. This here was waiting on my green circuit production, but I've just reworked that. And as soon as that's up and running, I'm sure this will keep up. So if we come down to the reds are pretty much the same system, except there's a bit of a tiered waiting bay system. But we have a similar splice. We are also loading at 12 belts a minute. Now this at the moment is well over production, so reds often shut down and don't produce. But I produce my bays in a way that I aim for maximum train loading time. So this train will load completely from empty in just under a minute. So yeah, and it has the fastest docking time. So it comes right in. It's the first station. It loads and then it leaves. Whereas everything else that has to run through this internal network has to go through this tiered waiting bay. So the splice trains and copper come and drop off at these stations, and power this whole red network. But again, it only boots up when it's in production. I do plan to rework this a little bit. I want these copper trains to load from this upper section as well, because then I can load a train directly behind this splice train, and I'll have enough room for a copper train to back up, whereas here it would back up into the intersection. And yeah, so that's the load, the tiered waiting bay. So this here is where the trains will go to splice. So you can see here that the plastic is here, and I would have the green circuits here if they weren't already waiting here. I'll just send him. So, and then my green circuits is a fair bit more complicated, and it's also half of it's gone under major rework. The other half is just shut off, but enough if it's running that it will make sense. So we have the same tiered waiting bay. I should really put like a little express loop here. Yeah, they like that. Oh, they like that a lot. Oh. Maybe you should do those. I don't know. So the splice supply trains come down here, and you can see that the copper waits at this top station, and then the iron will wait down here. And then they have enough room to back up behind the splice. Here comes an iron. Oop, straight in. Nice. And then all of the splice trains will come down this final track. This here is the exact same as this bottom section, but I have to run this line, everything up this way to connect here, so that the top half and the bottom half have the same priority. Otherwise, if this was running down this way and these were just turning that way, these guys would block the track, and it just doesn't work as good. Yeah, and then if I just do that, so you can leave, and then the trains that pick up have an express lane straight out. Nice. So yeah, that's the train network. Those two are shut off. Ooh. Ooh. I don't know what that's about. So I need to have a higher splice output. For this entire green circuit bay, I need 72 belts of supply, and at the moment I only have 8, 16, 24. So down here I have prepared what is this, 96? So I can trim this down a little bit, down to 80. And then all I have to do is move this intersection down to here, and then connect this output up here to this intersection. It'll quadruple this this splice area, and once the splice trains can properly saturate the green circuits, then there won't be any downtime in this green circuit production. And the change that I've made to these green circuit bays is a UPS difference. They both output 4 solid lines of green circuits, except this one takes 288 inserters, and this one now only takes 160. And that's all UPS right there. So I guess just a quick recap of my base. I have 2 splice trains unloading at blue circuits. I'm pretty sure my splice station is big enough to support double this. So my blue circuit bay can have 4 blue stations. And then if you come down to my reds produce 12 belts of red circuits. It requires 6 stations, and the modification that I'm going to make is going to allow there to be a buffer train directly behind both the splice train and the copper train by putting them both in the middle. I don't think the splice station needs to be adjusted at all. Green circuits is pretty much the same, except at the moment there's only 6 stations running with two pickup stations. I need to revamp or rebuild these last 3 bays. I'm also going to move this as far left as I can, so that I have enough room to to play around with my new waiting bay. And then as soon as this waiting bay is operational, I'll be able to test it under load by doubling my blue circuits and plastic. This is my plastic work. It should be completely fine. But then my copper and iron production will be tested under full load. There is 48 belts of each, and they load in 30 seconds. And then other than that, nothing else is really running in my base.